Hello everybody, Grizzly Pig here and welcome to today's episode. I haven't done any videos on V-Rising since Gloomrot. A lot has changed. We are playing Brutal here now, and today I am going to show you how I solo Dracula on Brutal, and we're going to get straight into this. I'll tell you everything you need to know, build and tactics, and go into a bit more depth than some of the other videos that I have seen as well. So basically what we're going to do is divide this fight into 4 phases, because it's a 4-phase fight. I'm going to call them phase 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what you're seeing here is a run of mine that I did where I only caught the back end of the fight because I was playing about with the settings on Streamlabs, and I only caught the last 3 minutes. But this is phase 4, and you can see it's a bit of a dance fest, but don't let this scare you off, because this is actually the easiest phase of them all. You just have to dance about and get all of your free casts and stuff, because you get buffed the hell out of at the end, because you actually get the chance to drink Dracula's blood, and it's the craziest blood in the game. You can't take it out of the fight, but you use it in here and it makes this phase of the fight super easy. There was actually a bug where you could take it out, but they patched that, and that was super crazy on the PvP network. You can see here as well that we're getting stacks that give us more damage. When we take damage, we get more damage the more stacks we have of these, so you don't want this to last too long. This is the only part of the fight that's really a DPS race, but we're going to get straight into the build now. You can see I've got some shield spells going on there. They are extremely important for this whole fight. They're going to save your bacon lots and lots, but we're also going to swap out some abilities at certain points in the fight as well. I'm going to tell you all about that, everything you need to know. And I wouldn't recommend coming here until you are well prepared for it, so that involves being level 88, 89, 90, something like that, whatever you can do. So you want to get all of the other shard bosses done and get your legs, your gloves and your boots of Dracula. You also want to get yourself a level 30 weapon, so get farming those Stygian shards, those greater Stygian shards. Go and get yourself a purple weapon. I was lucky and brought one from the shops, and I got a legendary gun. We're just using guns for this, nothing else. If you want to just get to the end game and do Dracula straight away, I would recommend just going straight into guns. So get your guns, get your other pieces of armor and your amulet, and you're good to go. I'll tell you the other stuff as well. So we've got blood and all that. I'll talk about that. So here we are, we're going straight into the abilities. So what you can see now is we're using the chaos dash, because that allows us to dash twice, and it's very, very powerful, especially when you combine it with the road blood as well, which we're using. You can see the gem I got there. I'm not going to go into detail about those, but you can have a look at those and pause me if you like. So now we're looking at our 2 shield spells. We're using Blood Right. This is very powerful, and you really want to get a gem on this as well. It gives you immaterial afterwards, which is an iframe. This gem allows me to heal. It's the max you can heal for. Go for tier 4 gems if you can, but this tier 3 one is better than any tier 4 I could find. And then we're going to use the same spell, but in the frost tree. This is called Cold Snap, and you can see I've got a tier 4 gem on that as well. When you use this, it's going to shield you from the next damage that you take, and then it's going to give you a shield after. So if you want to combo these two together, use your Cold Snap first, just in case you fail the other one and don't get a heal off. For our ultimate, we're going to use Volatile Arachnid. This is for phase 2 only. We're not going to use ultimates in phase 1 generally, but you can open with Volatile Arachnid if you want to, but you don't need to. For phase 3, write this down, we're going to be using Void, which is in the Chaos Tree. This is crazy damage. It's a drop spell. It's all about damage in this phase here. You can see the gem I've got there, more damage, and such. It's just bad damage with that spell. The next spell we're taking is in Storm Tree, Ball Lightning. You can see my gem there again. This is damage, it's a drop spell, so it's AoE, and it also knocks enemies back as well, because at phase 3 the boss is going to be healing when the ads get to him, so you want to stop them getting to him. They walk slowly towards him, knock them back with Ball Lightning. For our ultimate on phase 3 we are going to be using Army of the Dead. You can use whatever ultimate you really want actually, but it's ultimately you want to just get one that's crazy huge damage, because it is all about getting loads of damage in on that phase. So that's pretty much it there. And then for phase 4, the last phase, we're going to basically go back to our main build, except the ultimate is going to be Arctic Leap, and the only reason we use that is a panic button. If we don't have our shields up or our leap, our veil, we're going to pop Arctic Leap, and that's going to get us out of some trouble. So you can see the blood there, that's Rogue Blood, works really well with Veil, especially the double dash one, exposes the enemy's armor, crazy damage and extra movement speed, which is absolutely vital in phase 2 and of course phase 4 as well, as you'll find out. So that's it for the gear, well the spells, sorry, and the blood. And we're also going to have a look now at my gun. So I'm very lucky. The only difference between the legendary and the purple one is that when you do your roll shot you get an extra bullet that you can fire at the end of it, which really helps a lot, by the way. But purple is also fine, and there are the abilities there for the gun as well. The bullet spray is super powerful when you're point blank. So you can see my gear. I am taking in this fight here the Dracula chest guard here, but you will have just the one before this if you're doing this for the first time. Amulet of the Spell Weaver, I really recommend this. You can use the Storm one as well if you want, but this one is really good because it spell cooldown recovery rate, which is important for your shields. When you go to Dracula, don't forget your blood key. You don't have to wear your blood key, but you need it on you to get through the gate to Dracula's castle. So definitely take that one with you as well, super important. And now, last but not least, we just need to talk about the potions. You can see here we have Vampiric Brew, Potion of Rage and a Witch's Potion for extra damage and some healing as well. So don't forget those, really important. So in this run there was an enemy, I wasn't going to record this, but then he bit the dust, so I decided I would anyway. So the boss is going to do a bunch of different sword attacks on you and some ground targeted things and a couple of ruptures. You want to use your shield spells to dodge these where you can, and your veil to get out of them as well. Think about what you're going to use where, don't go bust on anything, always have something active. Make sure you weave damage in wherever you can. You can see this phase here with the shards. When you get to that, position yourself and then go anti-clockwise around him, getting your bullet spray off, and then dive out at the end and then back in with a roll shot. When he throws the two red mist things at you, just get away from him and outrange them and get ready for the boss to come in at you in wolf form or with a sword, and just block it with a shield or something like that and start the whole thing again, rinse and repeat. And now for phase 2. Here we're going to get down the crystal. It's important you focus these to begin with. You can ignore them, hit the boss when he's on like about 5 to 10% life. You want to keep the boss in your sights every time. So those crystals, you can actually get them down nicely by using these mini crystals. If you have your shield and you go near the crystal and then you pop it with one of these little ones, you're going to do damage to it. So definitely utilize your blood right and your cold snap there. So here, this is just a dance, stay round the edge and then at the end go right in and do a roll shot and get loads of damage in, and a bullet spray if you can as well. Always keep an eye on him. When you get too far away from him, he's going to want to come at you and jump on you and do big damage, so make sure you have a shield for that. Save your veil for this here where he does these ruptures on the floor if you can. If you don't have your veil, you can pop shield and then shield again. You can see here I'm damaging the crystal using the bats and my shield's popping them on the crystal. When he comes back here after the bat phase, just make sure that you have your veil so you can jump out of it, or your roll shot. These crystal lines, usually what you're going to do is get right up close to the boss when those crystals pass him and pop a shield. And then there's these daggers. When the daggers come down, you want to make sure you just run the hell away from the boss, and ideally a crystal as well. You don't really want to be in the crystal circle while those are there, because the outside of the crystal, you can't shield through it, you have to dodge through it. It can be really messy. Again, the ruptures there, we're going to just dodge those and then get that crystal down. We're going to focus on the other crystal now. Go straight in with as much damage as you can. Get near the crystal to pop the shield. Just hug the crystal here if you're focusing that. And now we have got another one. It's a bit RNG with how many crystals spawn and how frequently, where they are and stuff like that. We got a bit unlucky here, but it doesn't matter. This isn't a DPS race at this phase. You just have to just make sure you stay alive and get damage into the boss wherever you can, just so you're not in it forever, of course. That blood path thing he puts on the floor, you can either dodge out of that with your roll shot, or you can just go right in his grill and pop a shield on him if you want, but don't use your veil on it, because you really want your veil ultimately for when he does the 4 ruptures on the ground. And again, we got another crystal phase. This should be the last one here. If you're getting in lots of damage on the boss, which I actually haven't here on this one because of the crystals, then he should only do this twice ideally. Our ultimate was the spider there. You can see, I think I opened with it when phase 2 started, but you don't need to use that on the boss. You can use it on the crystals if you get overwhelmed as well. So you can see you can even just step out of that red path ability that he does there, but it's absolutely vital that you save your veil for when he does the floor ruptures. Get up in his grill for the crystal wall, and then we got bat phase again, and I didn't get enough time to explain last time, but you need to save your veil for this particularly, or your roll shot. If you don't have your veil, you can use your roll shot with the guns. That's why the guns are so super amazing as well. I'm not using another weapon here in this fight. Some people use scythe, some people use the axes, but for me, I just love the guns. Great damage, mid-range weapon is all you need here. And we're going to do the sword dance again, and you can see I had to dash through the wall there because your shields just don't soak the damage from the wall of the crystal circle there. Watch out for the decoy here. You can use him to get damage on the crystal if you need to, but they won't always come up. 2 crystals. I'm probably 3 crystals now. I'm probably going to take 2 of them down and then just focus the boss. We'll see how we go for damage. When he does those that star formation on the floor, the best thing you can do is get between them, position yourself. Don't use the ability to get out of the way, just position yourself between them, and then when they rupture on the floor, they leave these red blood pools on the floor that then burst and do damage to yourself. So the best thing you can do is then roll a shot into the boss and then get some damage onto him there. That's what I like to do a lot, but basically go back towards the boss once those go out. Don't be tempted to go away from the boss. If he does them and he's facing the other direction from you, then you're behind him. You got lots of free damage there. Well done. Just take advantage of that. Here I sometimes like to try and get a bit of damage in, roll shot there with the crystal. So I think this is the 3rd time he's done this now, and that's probably because I've had a lot of the big crystal spawn, but it doesn't matter. Just dance these and try not to get hit. You've got your shields and your veil that you can use, getting in on him near the end and getting the roll shot there. Up close for the crystal wall again, and we're just going to damage him down now, but just don't throw this here. I've thrown the fight a few times because I'm just trying to get big damage in on him and get to the next phase. Now we're in the next phase very soon. He's just gone away and we've got some bats up and stuff, but he's literally a couple of abilities away from that. You want to be thinking about your abilities and swapping out now, so heal up if you need to. Go into your abilities and put your void and your ball lightning down and your army of the dead as well, and then get ready here to start taking out the ads. You just want to use your abilities whenever you can, all the time. Hope that they spawn together and you get a bit lucky, but it doesn't really matter if you fail it a little bit, because on the last phase you can always do it like you literally just don't have to get hit and you will do the boss eventually. So here, I'm not actually very good at this phase, I must be honest. This is probably the hardest phase for me, just because I feel like I'm just not really in sync and ready for it after doing all of the dancing and stuff of the other phases. I just feel a bit cranky once it gets to this. I don't know why, but what's going to happen is you can see the heart coming in there now, and you really want to be damaging it by this point, but I'm not. I'm still dealing with the ads because I don't want him to heal from those. He heals for 500 every time he soaks one of those up, and now I've got a bit of a problem because that heart is now going to heal the boss a little bit as well. So damage the hell out of this. Now it's just the heart I have to worry about, and this heart is what you're going to get the Dracula's blood from. So when it gets really low, you can drink it like a V blood boss, and you will get Dracula's blood. There we're going straight in, and it's not too bad. He hasn't healed up that much, and while I'm drinking the blood, I'm swapping back into my previous build with the shields, but this time, as I said, we're taking Arctic Leap as a panic attack. The boss doesn't attack once during this phase. There's only 3 things you have to watch out for. One of them doesn't do damage to you, it just pushes you back, and it's really annoying. It can cause you to take damage, but what we're going to get is frequent crystal walls that come at you. You need to use a shield on that where you can, and we also have the swords dropping down, but don't worry about that because you are faster than those, especially if you use your veil to position yourself every now and then. I recommend don't use your veil just willy-nilly, just try and save it for like in a panic situation as well. And what you'll notice here is I'm getting only auto attacks pretty much in on the boss, although I opened with my abilities on my weapon at the start maybe. I'm not going to be using those again. I'm just using my auto attack. Stay safe and use your shields whenever those crystal waves come along, or whenever you really need to with the swords, and ideally get right up close to the boss every time one of these shields pops and you are in close proximity to the boss. He is going to take big damage. So you can see there I use my Arctic Leap as a panic, because what happens in this fight is when you use your shields or any spell or whatever, you have a chance for it to instantly come off cooldown again. Very RNG, but it happens pretty much most of the time, but if it doesn't, you've got that backup there. So you can see I'm always going to prioritize my my frost shield here, because it seems to do more damage than the Bloodright, obviously, because Bloodright is like a healing ability. They're not so powerful for damage, but I'm just trying to get in close to the boss as much as I can, and those spells are just going to do the damage for you. It's ultra no brain mode because you don't have to aim these or anything like that. You just have to get near the boss. Always just keep your eyes out for those crystal waves, and what you want to try and do is make sure that when these swords come down, you are out of those when the crystals come on top of you, because if you get hit by a sword and a crystal wave, then it's probably going to take out one of your shields pretty easily and lower your maximum life as well. This is the easiest phase of the whole fight. Once you get into the rhythm of it, it's just like Beat Saber or Guitar Hero or something like that. Just plenty of practice and you'll get this phase really easily. But the thing is with this fight, the biggest, most important upgrade that you can have with this is practice, practice, practice. Embarrassingly high amounts of practice is what this takes to get good at it. But once you've got that, you'll find that you'll get into phase 2 easy, and then you'll struggle with that for a long time, and then phase 3 you'll get into that nearly every time, and then eventually once you've worked out phase 4 and stuff, you'll be laughing. It's super easy once you get it down, and I've done this multiple times now. And there we are. He doesn't give you any loot, unfortunately, sorry for the spoiler, but that's pretty much it. And good luck guys with that. I hope that this video has been helpful, and I will catch you next time, I guess, and I'll do some more videos on some more bosses, we'll see. But this is kind of the ultimate one, so I don't know where we go from here. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.